Hi, I'm Luke with Click4Assistance, and in this video I'm going to be showing you all about user types, how to set one up and what exactly they do. So let's get into it. So what are user types? User types are a global profile used to determine access to different modules, permissions, security settings and alerts within your Click4Assistance software. Now what's really cool about these profiles is that you can set different permissions to different modules in one go, which can affect multiple users. What this means to you is that loads of time is saved. If you've got 20 something account members and you've made one change, it's going to replicate through all of those rather than having to go through each individual account and make that change. Okay, to begin with, let's go into my account on the left and then go down onto user types, which will bring you to this screen here. Now by default there are two user types. We've got a third here from another exercise, and the two user types by default are CSR and administrator. The CSR being a customer service representative and an administrator being an administrator. The CSR having limited access, allowing them only to access relevant modules for chat operators, whereas administrator has full unlimited access to the software. We recommend strongly that you do not edit any of these two existing user types. Instead, create a new one by creating a template based from one of these two. In Click4Assistance, there's no limitation as to how many user types you can set up. In this example, we're going to set up a new supervisor, and the supervisor is going to be able to access the chat reporting module. It's going to be able to delete chats, and we're going to make sure they get notified when a conversion occurs. Also, we're going to restrict their logon hours to be able to log on only between 9 in the morning and 5 in the evening. So let's show you how you do that. To start, we're going to click Add New up here on the left, and you can choose which user type you wish to make a copy of using the drop-down box. In this example, we're going to choose CSR, and we're going to create a supervisor. And in the description, it's always a good idea to explain a little briefly what this role is going to do. So for example, this one's going to be doing chat reporting. Oops. It's going to be able to delete chats. And it's also going to be notified when there's a conversion. A conversion is when a customer has purchased something through your website. And we're also going to do a 9 to 5 login restriction. Okay. When you're happy with the description and the name of your new user type, click Save. Thumbs up. We're now going to go into the configuration panel. The first tab on the window here is modules, and this tree structure follows the same format as the navigation menu on the left. You can see it just behind here: Home, Upgrade, Billing, Contact Websites, Home, Upgrade, Billing, Contact Websites, and so forth. Turning modules on or off will display or hide the items, which simplifies the software for users who will not need these various aspects. So for example, we're going to scroll down under the reporting tree and just make sure that the chat and video tick is there for reports. So that's great. We scroll back up. We've now got the permissions tab, and the permissions tab allows more specific settings to be defined. As you can see by the permissions here, they are grouped, and we want to allow the users of a supervisor type to delete chats rather than force them to be stored. And to do that, we're going to scroll down and tick this box for chats can be deleted. The next thing we want to do is to make sure that the supervisors will be alerted when there's a conversion. We go to the alerts tab for that, and we're going to scroll down looking for the conversions made. Here we go. So yes, we want to have a visual and as well as a pop-up. We're just going to do both in this instance, and we want to have a nice sound. We're going to choose bells here, and that sounds like this. That's wonderful. You can assign a specific sound to each alert, and you can preview the sound like we've just done. If you're wanting it to repeat, and this will cause the alert to go off until it gets acknowledged, you can put a tick in the box here. This is good for alerts that require immediate attention, such as chats. However, we'll leave this turned off as conversions don't require acknowledgement. Finally, our supervisors need their login access restricted. So let's scroll up, and we're going to go into the security tab here. we're going to put a tick into the login access, and we're going to adjust this back just a little bit to 1700 hours. Just to explain briefly here what these all are. Authentication governs how a user logs in. By default, this is set to email and password. However, this can be changed to Active Directory. For help with setting up Active Directory, see our Active Directory video, which will have a link at the end of this one. Another option available to you is Auto Log Off. This will begin the log off process at the time specified. However, don't panic, as it does come with a snooze button should chats be taking place at that time. You may also restrict access to software by IP address. This means that access will only be granted when at the location specified. Incidentally, for logon access, this time frame here, this is governed by the time zone, which can be selected in the Other Settings tab. I'll show you that in a moment. The last tab is a list of users assigned, but as we've only just created this user type, there are no users available. And you can see here we can adjust the time zone under the Other Settings. Where we're recording, we are in GMT, so I'm going to put that in there. Once you've got everything as you like it, press save, another thumbs up, and you're done. Excellent. Now we've created our new supervisor user type. What we're going to do next is assign some users to said user type. Here's how you do that with the users module. Now that we've created our user type, we need to add some users into it. So you can see here at the moment no users in the assigned users section. We do this by going into the users menu on the left hand side, and it's simply a case of choosing who you want to make as the supervisor. So let's choose, for example, Jennifer Smith here. We're going to click on the little notepad icon to change, and dropping down we now have supervisor available to us. Tick to save, and we're also going to change Graham Townsend into supervisor, tick to save. And there we are. So there we have it. We've created a new user type and we've added some users to it as well. So it's really good stuff. A couple of key things to take away from this video. Number one, remember that this is a global change. So you make one change globally, it can affect multiple users, freeing up your time to get on with more pressing matters. Number two, remember always to copy and not to edit the existing two stock user types. And the third thing is, once you've created a user type, remember to put some members into it. So there we are. Thank you very much. I've been Luke with Click4Assistance, and I'm helping you to converse, monitor and engage with your customers.